but he used the word mado, hu amado atzmo. Now over there in Perik Beis, he quoted it the other way around. He said, hu amado, hu ayodea, the Alter Rebbe. And over here he says, hu hayodea, hu hamado. Now, if we like to be courageous, and we could say that Chavusidor, based on what we just said, that over there, so which means that Yodea is more united with the very essence of Hashem than what Mado is. Mado is the actual medium of knowledge which functions for God. Yodea is Hashem, how he's the knower. Yeah? So that's the first. So putting Mado first and then mentioning Yodea seems to be a bit strange. Well, that's what he does in Perik Bey. But the reason is because over there he's talking about an entity which he's sending out as a separate chelik. He's sending out the neshama as a separate chelik. Afu Pikein, he's telling us that neshama remains one with him. Yeah? Whenever he mentions the Mado first and then afterwards the Yodea. Over here what he's talking about, our Torah is Melachatchila. Even Torah is right one thing, right from the very beginning. Torah never goes out from him. Yeah? So whenever he says Yodea first, and then he says Mado. That's what we suggest. It's only by way of possibility, but I say we should suggest that that's the explanation. And as says the Rebbe, Kamoshe Kasafti Li'il B'Shem Rambam, as I already told you above, in the name of the Rambam. Now, once again, this is just an interesting little tidbit, and that is that it's well known. We learned that just a couple of program ago. So if we're really worth our, how do you call it, worth our boots or worth our shoelaces, then we should remember that was written in the name of the Rambam. So you might say, well, he wanted to mention the Rambam again because it's written in a slightly different order, so he's got the same order. Maybe that's why he writes the Rambam again. But we suggest that it's well known the tremendous honor and unbelievable height that the Alter Rebbe regarded the Rambam. He regarded the Rambam as being a makubal and as knowing all the pnimis of there, and he also regarded the Rambam as like one of the great centers of all of our kesher with Yiddishkeit, Baklau. And as one on the famous Pisgam, the famous little quip, that mi Moshe ad Moshe loy kom kamoisha. So from Moshe Rabbeinu to Moshe ben Maimon, that's the Rambam, there's never been anybody like Moshe. In other words, there's never been anybody quite like that Moshe. In other words, meaning, just like there's nobody like Moshe, there's nobody like Moshe. So therefore, we can suggest that it's a great necessity in the makeup of Pnimis HaTorah and the building of the Sefer Tanya that the Rambam's name be mentioned in reference to a Inyan which is the very essence of the Seidos of the Torah. That the Abish is one even with a thing like the Neshama, and that nothing really parts from him. And everything which looks like a separate entity is really him, especially in things which are related to him in a very direct way, like Deya and Das and things of that nature. And therefore, the Alter Rebbe wants to mention the Rambam, because even though everybody thinks the Rambam is only Nigla the Torah, really the Rambam is the great koyach in Yiddishkeit which links the Nigla the Torah and the Pnimis together. That's what we can maybe suggest. And therefore, Kamesha Kasafti Le'il, I've already mentioned it in the name of the Rambam, but it's got to be mentioned again here, for both of those reasons, because it's a slightly different point. But I've got to mention the Rambam because I'm linking here something very, very essential in the etzem pnimius understanding of divinity with the nigla of the Torah, which is the way the Torah comes to us. And therefore, we've got to mention the Rambam's name, because he's like the koyach, he's a central inner koyach in that whole connection. That's what we consider. So, all right then. So what we've stated is that the garments are greater than the things, even though the things they're covering are also very, very tremendous. They're also chelik mile, but these are incomparably greater. And these are the way that you unite that thing with the Eibishter because we have this amazing thing that even though it's become Ritzoni v'chokhmosei, and it's like detailed matters which have specific requirements in each of them, they are the way to form the connection with who? With him, with the Kadosh Baruch Hu Mamish, like he says here, B'kwedi Uba Achman. So now here the Alter Rebbe is going to immediately come now with a kashya, but this kashya troubles all the learners of the Tanya, and I don't blame them. It's a tricky one, and it occurs at a point where it's a little bit sort of, unsettling and a little bit, sometimes can appear to the intelligent reader a little bit not understood why does that become in this way at this particular moment. But I've tried to make a sort of a case up till now what the Levushim really are, and they are Torah and Mitzvah, or Eraisa v'Kutsha Brifu, the Torah and the Hashem are one. But what is Torah? Chokhmosei v'Ratzoini, which is a very specific list of unbelievably profound list of specific entities, and you say that that's one with Kutsha Brifu. You say that's one, absolutely. Kulachat, it's all one in the sense that there's absolutely no trace of any separation or any preventation of the unity in the matter. So therefore says the Eibishter, how can that be, says the Alter Rebbe, I'm sorry, how can that possibly be? The Eibishter in his very essence is absolutely unlimited. He's absolutely Ein Seif, the Ein, as we know, he's also Ein Loy Tchila. He never began and he never ended, which means that he's unlimited in the highest possible sense of unlimited. Ratzoinei v'chokhmosei, chokhmosei v'ratzoinei that we just spoke about, they are all very specific entities which have even numbers. 613 mitzvahs d'oraisa. Each mitzvah's got tremendous number of halachas. But there's also a limit as to how many halachas. And each Indian which is discussed by Chokhmosei, albeit can be a tremendous Indian and wisdom in the Torah, but ultimately speaking, it's an entity which can be measured in what you might call almost human terms. So ask yourself the question: how can you possibly say that Oiraisa and the Kodesh Baruch Hu Akula had even how it's become Chokhmosei v'Ratzoinei, even how it's come down to us as Chokhmah. Nonetheless, we say that it's Kulei Chad. It's absolutely one entity with a Kodesh Baruch Hu. A Kodesh Baruch Hu is how can he be linked and united with something which is ultimately speaking, it's got a tangibility to it. Torah, how it is Chokhmosei v'Ratzoinei, is already a limited entity. It's 613 commandments. So that's what he's asking. And he says, after Kodesh Baruch Hu Nikra Ein Sof. Now that's also one of the things that really bounces out and hits you in the eye. That even though the Eibush is called Ein Sof, what do you mean he's called Ein Sof? He is Ein Sof. What's Nikra Ein Sof? So the Alter Rebbe is hinting with that even the name Ein Sof is not the right word. It's only a krior. You call him Ein Sof, but he's incorporating more than that also. After Kodesh Baruch Hu Nikra Ein Sof, V'ligdul Lo say Ein Cheke, and to his greatness there's absolutely no research. There's no way of ever researching and reaching what his greatness is. V'leish machashava tefisa bei klal, and any thought, no matter what level of oilom it may be, no thought can possibly grasp him. V'leish machashava tefisa bei, nothing which has any specific quality of knowledge or thought to it can possibly grasp him klal at all, under any circumstance. So you might say, no, but wait a minute, that means Torah, how it's all maybe in some state of absolute oneness before it became down to us. And he said, no, the same is with the way Torah became the way it became revealed to us, which, like we mentioned before, here, and you notice here he changed the order. Here it's Ritzoin V'Chokmos. Before it was Chokhmah V'Ratzono, That's the other way around. Anyway, that's Tanya. As he says, K'diksiv ein cheker l'tvunosei uksiv. There's no research or knowledge through research and through thinking to his understanding, Kodesh Baruch Hu's understanding. Uksiv, and it's also written ha'cheker elokah timtzah. If you will research the divinity, will you then find? Uksiv, and it's written Kiloi Maksavoisai Maksavoisai Hem, and it's written, and my thoughts are not your thoughts. That's the kasha. The kasha is, how can you possibly say that the Eibusha is united over all the specific entity of Ratzon Nevachochmos? There's absolutely no way you can know what a Kodesh Baruch Hu is. And Mamela, how can he have such levushim, which are such limited levushim, which can dress up your nefesh, ruach, and neshama, and still be considered as him, being absolutely united with him? So there's a traditional practice of leaving people with a kasha, even though it's a very cruel thing to do. To leave people with a kasha, we'll pause there for this evening, and we'll leave everybody with the kasha. So what's the point of doing that? So once for a Mendel once said that if you go to sleep with a kasha, you don't sleep as deep as what normally people. The kasha doesn't really let you fall deep into sleep. That's a better sleep for you. It's a better sleep. And there's a whole about that what I can go into Barichas, based on a Gemara Masechta Sukkah, actually, or a Mishnah. I think you guys might have learned the Mishnah. Did you guys learn the Mishnah about the Chachamim in the Sukkah, and if you sleep underneath a bed in the Sukkah, I think you learn it, eh? Yeah. So if you sleep underneath a bed in the Sukkah, you're not guilty. So what were they doing sleeping in the Sukkah, etc.? That's a Zunda Indian, but yet nonetheless brought down in the Gemara that when they were sleeping in the Sukkah, they were asking kashas one to the other. If you're sleeping, then make up your mind. If you're asleep, then you're asking the kashas. If you're asking kashas, then you're not asleep. There's a higher form of sleep. You know? There's a form of sleep where you're still asking, kashiyas. The men used to say, if you go to sleep with a kasha already, then you sleep that type of sleep. You don't really fall asleep, but you busy your mind with kasha. Anyway, you have to sleep to good health, you guys.